think this was your second double-double this season. You had one against Cincinnati. You struggled a little bit, a little bit of injury, but came out tonight and made the mark. Was this kind of a get right mindset game for you as well as the team, especially after that bad loss or tough loss to George Mason on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely a mindset game for me. I talked to my mom yesterday. She was at the game on the last game. I can't remember, the George Mason game. And the one thing she told me is just go out there and have fun, play the game how you know how to play. And, I feel like recently I've been trying to play not to make mistakes and trying to control things that I can't control. So it's definitely a mindset game for me. And, I'm happy that I played well. I'm happy that my teammates played really well. We had a lot of guys score a lot of points, so can't complain overall.
Okay, next we're going to go to Jack Leo and then Drew Beal.
Yeah, Aaron, if you could just kind of talk about what you saw out there tonight defensively as well. I know, obviously they did take a lot of shots, which was different. What were the adjustments y'all had to make there in the second half?
Well, I think the biggest thing was in the first half, they killed us on the offensive boards. I'm not sure what the number was, but that's one thing that we really harped on in the second half, just make sure we get them off the glass. And they still got a couple offensive rebounds, but, I feel like guys like Noah Bauman and Dalen, they did a really good job of getting on the glass. Braylon, everybody did a really good job of getting on the glass. But, another thing that we did was overhelp a lot. And that's something that we'll have to get better for against ETSU.
Hey, Aaron, you guys had 4 players in double figures tonight and 2 with 9. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys were kind of able to all come together and contribute and get this team win?
I've always told the guys on this team that that's when we're going to be at our best, when we get 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in double figures, and it's really hard to lose a game when you have that many guys scoring that many points. And not only that, we had guys getting a lot of rebounds. We had guys getting steals, doing it on the defensive end. So it was a complete team effort. And, I'm really proud of this team for stepping up and accepting the challenge.
Okay, we're going to open up to any follow-up questions if anyone has any for Aaron. Okay, thanks, Aaron. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Ready to get started, Dalen?
I'm ready.
Okay, first we're going to go to Anthony Dasher, and then we're going to go to Mark Weiser.
Hey, Dalen, congratulations. First double figure score as a Bulldog. I know part of it has been, just finally getting healthy, getting 100%, but also just speak to that and just finding your consistency and how much more of an impact you think you can make with this team moving forward.
I think I can have really big impact rebounding and shooting threes and passing the ball, whatever. I feel like I can really be big for us down the stretch against the other teams that we play with.
Jalen's injury, how much did that make you kind of realize that you had to have a bigger role with the team, and how have you kind of responded to that in the last, 10, 12 days?
Yeah, early on, it was a really bad loss for us. But then I talked to my mom and my coaches, and they just told me to go out there, play hard, rebound, shoot threes, and then I'll be fine. So yeah, I really it's all about mindset, honestly, because Jalen rebounded, he scored, he did all the little things. So.
Next, we're going to go to Lance McCurley and then Drew Beal.
Okay.
How important for it? You said it was a team effort. How important was it to have 4 players in double figures tonight? And then how is defending a team that shot, as Aaron said, in all his college basketball, probably the most threes and 46 in a game?
So actually, my old JUCO, we used to shoot 43s a game, and we pressed. So it wasn't really different for me, but for some of the other guys, I'm sure it was different. It was a different pace, and yeah. And having 4 guys in double figure is a big help for everyone. We all need to score, pass the ball, rebound, and we'd be fine.
Hey, Dalen, you guys were running a lot of small ball lineup out there tonight. What was it like being out there without a true center and kind of having to come together and pick up some of the slack that Braylon usually gives you guys?
So at my old JUCO, again, I often played the 5, so it wasn't really a big deal for me because I know I can go out the 5-man if I have to or whatever. It wasn't really a big thing.
Okay, thanks, Dalen. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, I'm ready.
Opening statement or straight to questions, Coach?
Yeah, we can do an opening statement. I'm proud of the fight of these guys. I think Brian Fish said it the best after the game. He said the second half compared to the first half and compared to the first game, like the first times that our team wasn't actively looking for Jalen. And when you've got a guy that's a workhorse like that, he's a grown man in the sense of his age, his body, his experience, his physicality, but his confidence. And it takes a lot out of you. You know, when you don't, guys like Jalen and Aaron, they make you feel safer, right? Great players I've had, that's a big part of leadership, is how much safer you feel playing with them. And players aren't going to look at it that way, but I as a coach look at it that way because it projects confidence in those guys. So I'm proud of the way we fought it out. They were 4th in the country. I think they're shooting. There's 46% of their points come from the 3-point line, which is 4th in the country. Their 3-point rate was 4th in the country, and they went way beyond that tonight, you know, with the 46 threes that they took. But we made the stops that we had to make. It was a bit of a pick our poison type of game because we didn't want to get into an overhelp situation because of how many threes they take. We kept telling our team that it's like an Alabama game. You know, it's an Alabama team that tries to create penetration. And if you help, they're going to kick it and they get the ball swinging. And if you don't help, they're going to go to the rim. And so for us, we adjusted. We had a really good finish to the game with the scoring. And they were mixing defenses and our guys were really active and playing through it. And I'm proud we got this one under our belt now because I didn't like our confidence at all on Saturday night. And I thought our confidence came alive in this game.
Okay, we're going to go into questions. First, we're going to go to Anthony Dasher, and then we're going to go to Mark Weiser.
Hey, Coach, good to see you.
Hi, you too.
You know, whenever we've asked you about replacing Jalen, you mentioned Dalen as being a guy you were going to kind of look for and wanting to see some more from. He played with a lot more confidence tonight as well. Hit the 2 big threes, played a lot of energy on the court. What difference can he bring if he continues on that track?
Well, there's a couple of things, and I think it's another one. Brian Fish said it best. He said he's been proved more in the last 5 days than he has in 5 months, and it's because of that confidence, right? And the injury that he had really set him back. It set him back mobility-wise, contact-wise, physicality, all those different things. And so really, as we started to see Dalen more in the summer and in the fall, we're starting to think, okay, this could be January before he can be helpful. And we use Keon Ellis as an example from Alabama, even though Keon hadn't been hurt, but it took a little bit of time for a junior college player to really get adjusted to it. I think Dalen would have been fine earlier on if he was fully healthy, but he hasn't been. And I think you're going to see more athleticism come out and even things like that. But I thought the first or second 3 that he hit, you could just see a glow in him. I know I slapped hands with him as he's running down the floor. I mean, I'm just so happy to see that because he's not overly confident yet at this level. And for him to be successful, he's got to have that confidence. So he started to show it. So when you look at the game and you look at the 2 guys that are playing the 4 spot, Noah with 11 rebounds, like, I don't know if he did that since grade school, right? But somewhere back out west, he might have had 11 boards in a CYO game in the 8th grade, but he did a fantastic job. And we moved him around tonight. But for those 2 at the 4 spot to combine for 16 and 20, after going, I think 17 and 10 the other night, that's good. That's good. And because Noah's played that position for us and Dalen hasn't played those minutes. And I thought we did a good job of subbing Braylon more earlier. You know, we've got 2 people on that right now on the bench because we've got a guy pushing him to go harder and we've got a guy looking and say, when do we got to get him out? Because we need him, right? We need him. And he's just where he's at. He's not able to play long stretches, but he had enough to really do a great job at the end. And again, we took him out. Dalen played the 5 at one spot. He hasn't even played that in practice for us. So we're a little makeshift right now, but to find a way to win the game and it's not important who we're playing. It's important that we found a way to win the game. And I think that's what we've got to have to build our confidence.
Tom, you mentioned the value of having Aaron Cook, especially with Jalen out now. When he got in the portal, I mean, was it pretty fast that you knew, and he had 12 assists tonight, I guess, that you knew this is a guy that you really wanted to get in your program?
Oh, absolutely. We tried to get him a year ago, but we didn't get very far. When he left Southern and went to Gonzaga, we tried to get involved, but absolutely we did. Absolutely. And we were on some other guys, and I've said this before, and it works out this way. There were some guys that we didn't go on because we still had severe. And that was really, at the end of the day, the only thing that I was concerned about is okay, are we going to be able, Severe's good, are we going to be able to replace him? Because what I didn't want to do is bring in another small guard out of the portal, and then all of a sudden Severe's gone. And so for Aaron to be available, for us to beat the schools that we beat to get him, like Arizona, it came down to the two of us at the end. St. Louis was in it, Wake Forest was in it. That was big because he had a really, really good second half for us. But we're glad to have him. Our last three signees were big tonight: Aaron Cook, Dalen Ridgnal, and Kerry Oquendo.
Okay, next we're going to go to Lance McCurley and then Jack Leo, and then we're going to finish out with Drew Beal.
Just kind of another question about Dalen. He's very soft spoken. I think that was the first interview that I've gotten to interact with him. Just kind of
It might
talk
have been
about
his first interview ever.
Yeah.
No,
Just
he's a
kinda talk
great
about
kid. Let me tell you another thing about this kid. Let me tell you another thing about Dalen. Okay, from junior college, he just busted out a 3.1. Right? I mean, that's some impressive. This is not an easy school. Okay, for those of you that go here, you know that this is not easy. And we just had a semester. It's the best semester that we've had. And for a kid like Dalen to come into this school and get a 3.1, that's even, when I found that out tonight, I mean, that's even bigger to me than what he did, almost getting a double-double in 12 minutes. But he is soft-spoken, but he's humble, he's hungry, and he's a rarity. He's a rarity in society today as he asks questions. He knows he needs help when it comes to the tutoring and the mentoring. If he doesn't understand something, he asks. And that's what's beautiful about him. He's got a humble spirit. He's got a great heart, and we're happy to have him.
Yeah, Coach, just what adjustments were made late to help you guys pull away a little bit there in the final stretch offensively?
I think where we put Noah in the zone. I think the fact that Braylon could finish the game for us was big. I think Carrio was attacking the rim, and that made the threes better. I just think the way we passed the ball. I mean, couple first, and I'm not sure I've coached against a team that took 46 threes. And this might be the first time. It's got to be a low on turnovers for us, but it might be the first time we've had 20 assists. I'm really not certain, but the ball was really moving well. And that's what we have to have. So I don't know if it was an adjustment as much. We moved some people around, in the zone. So that was adjusted. We started working on that yesterday. But I think the fact of the way that ball was moving inside out, we had 48 paint touches, which was the high for us. And eventually we want to get into the mid 50s, but 48 was high. 43 was our high previously on Saturday night against George Mason. So when that ball's touching the paint, it really doesn't matter what you're running. If it's getting into the paint, it's getting out for threes, or it's getting into a drop-off situation, then it's good. And so it wasn't an adjustment as much as it was just playing cleaner and playing the way that we practiced to play.
Hey, Coach, the team only let up 2 offensive rebounds after letting up 9 in the first half. You did that in large part with a small ball lineup on the floor. Can you talk a little bit about how some guys were able to come together and rebound as a team?
That's big. And they got more 2s, right? I mean, they were getting the 3s, and we didn't guard the dribble as well. But what we were really into is not over helping, and because that's when they just start spraying the ball around. And they did it a few times. They're really good at that. And their coach wasn't here. Justin Gray wasn't here, but he's a fantastic coach. I've known him since he was 20 years of age when I coached with Kelvin Sampson and Dan Munson on a World University Games team. We won a gold medal. We had Justin, Eric Williams, who was one of his teammates, and Chris Paul on the team. And so for them to play fast, be well coached, even without him, I'm not surprised at all. But we did a good job defensive rebounding the other night. I think John Bateman told me we're plus 17 on the glass the last 2 games. And we've got to continue to build on that.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, guys.